Alright, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Max and Howard Drink Beer. I am Max.
And I am Howard.
Howard, you wanna tell everybody a little bit about what's been going on here?
Yeah, we're in the midst of a pandemic.
Are we?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
No.
Did anybody tell you personally?
No, no. Actually, no. Everybody else told me. Actually, the boss said, hey, you're fired. So that was kind of cool. That was fun.
Yeah.
But this isn't the, sad trials and tribulations of the life in Howard. This is Max and Howard Drink Beer.
Oh, and I am Max.
And I am Howard. Did
Look
we
at
do
that.
this? Is this deja vu?
Full circle.
Okay, all right. Well, what we are drinking today, it is a this was cool. This is another one of those, cracks in the the crannies of Woodman's Liquor. Where they had a sampler pack of German beers just sitting in a corner, $6 for a 12-pack. You know what? We like to do the sample packs here. We like to try a variety of different beers and see what's what. This is the one we're trying today. Now, in the packs, I'll read it off. We got a Hefeweizen, a natural wheat beer. We got the Munich Lager, that'll be good. We've done lagers on this show before, and we got the Oktoberfest, but we've never tried this on the show. We've never had, and I don't think I've ever had one.
No,
I've
me
never
either.
had. This is a Salvator. It's a double bock.
Yep. No, I have never had one. I didn't even know this existed, honestly.
No, we've had a Maibach, we've had a Honeybock.
Which, in case you're wondering, that's a Maybach. It's made in May.
Yeah, it's made in May, right. Well, I've even seen a Superbock, and
Yep.
although Max is more of a Beethoven guy. See what I did there?
Yeah,
Max?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're going to try a double bock today.
I'm not actually.
You're not?
I'm not a Beethoven guy. I thought that dog was not as entertaining as he could have been.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't ever into those. I never liked the dog movies.
So here we are.
Yeah.
We're drinking this, and we're drinking these. These are German beers, so we're drinking them traditional style.
Yes.
They have not been chilled. They are room temperature.
Room temperature.
They're basement temperature.
Yes.
So I believe if you look on the Christmas gift on the wall over there, I believe it's like 61.2, 61.4.
65.
Wow, is that warm down here?
Yeah, so,
Holy fuck! I gotta cool my basement off.
yeah, you blow really hard.
Yeah, that's what you do every day, right? You blow really hard.
In which way are you talking about?
All of them above. If you're looking on the corner for Howard, you could probably find him there. He is cheap. He likes beer.
That's too much standing.
I didn't say you were standing on the corner.
If you gave me a stool, I might think about it. I might sell myself.
You're the I can see it now. You're just sitting on the corner. Do 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 do.
Down on the corner. Well played. Point Max. All right. Yeah, stumped. There we are. Okay, so Max is taking the first sip. It's a double bock, like a double IPA, except it's not an IPA, it's a bock.
That's weird.
It's weird. Oh boy, I'm excited now. Max,
That's weird. I've never had a beer like that before. I'm at a loss of words.
Yeah, I'm kind of right there with you.
I could drink this.
Yeah, it's good. It's malty. It's a malty taste to it. So
Well, that's good because they're using only water, malt, hops, and yeast.
yeah. So
Apparently, there's a Bavarian purity law. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Hey, there's a Bavarian purity law, everybody. So you can check that out if you're from Bavaria.
Is that what they call it? Bavaria?
That's what I'm calling it.
Or is it Bulgaria?
No, I'm going Bavaria.
Okay.
That's right
It's
next.
brewed in the accordance of the law. So
Yeah, that's interesting. We're gonna have to look up that law. I'm gonna jot that down on my piece of paper of scribblers, and we will talk about that a different day.
Yeah.
Bavarian purity law. Hope you guys all know that it's a rule. It's so much of a rule that it's not a theory. It's a law.
You're right. Yep.
And that's science for this is what we say. Fuck off.
It's not an idea, and it's not a vague notion. It's a law.
All right. So while we're chewing on this here, because it's definitely a beer you need to chew on, Howard, we're gonna talk about our favorite movies today.
Yeah.
We're gonna hit top 5. We're enjoying some top 5s right now. If you've been listening to us, you heard some musicians, some albums. We're going to hit movies, and I'm pretty sure I know exactly your list.
It's pretty close. I'm kind of stumped on the, you want to know what? I figured out the last movie.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, so that's good. Yeah, these are just movies, you find them, and you no matter how many times you watch them, you got to watch them again, and it's almost funnier the next time you watch it.
Well, I mean, a lot of them, every time you watch it, there's still something.
Right, exactly.
And then you almost get you get a little bit of a giggle knowing, here, this is going to come. Are you ready for it?
Yeah.
And then there it is. There's the punchline.
We annoyed the absolute ever loving shit out of Sam the one night watching one of the movies. Just word for word knew the whole movie. And I don't think she got to watch the whole movie, which is apparently an annoyance for several women. So they don't really like that. So
yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah. So we're gonna kick off. I'm gonna kick it off this time, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna work backwards up my list.
Okay.
Because I pretty much put them in order that if I made a top 5 list.
Okay.
But number 5 is a newer movie. You know it, you love it. It's Mr. Right.
Yeah. Okay. Wow, that's one in your top 5.
Absolutely.
Nice.
That is hands down one of my favorite new movies. Has nothing to do with all the Star Wars craze. Has nothing to do with the Marvel superhero craze. This movie, just, Sam Rockwell, Anna Kendrick, just being themselves.
Yeah.
In all honesty,
much.
I'm pretty sure that they were just being themselves as characters.
Yeah, absolutely.
The movie is, in my opinion, fantastic. Go watch it.
It's really funny.
Sam Rockwell is a hitman that was a retired, I think, CIA assassin that retired, and he kills people who hire a hitman because killing's wrong.
Yep.
Which is what he says in
one
one of the opening
basis
scenes.
Of the movie, yeah.
He runs into Anna Kendrick's character, who is just the worst judge of people. She dates apparently all these loser guys, and they just hang out for 3 days, and just this weird mix of all sorts of craziness without giving anything crazy away. But hands down, I love the soundtrack, as you know.
Yeah.
One of my newest favorite bands, Tootsie, has a song in there. That's where I found them, was in this movie, and I'm like, I like this song. This is a good song. I wonder what else they have. Hey, I like their music. So, just all around, there's a lot to like about the movie. And we talk about, Sam doing his thing in all sorts of movies.
Yeah, pretty much. Iron Man 2, basically. Just Sam Rockwell.
7 Psychopaths doing his thing, which was a consideration of a strange movie that I wanted to throw in there, but it's just, I have to be in the mood to watch that. Kind of like the same thing with, like Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
It's a good movie, but you gotta be in a Pulp Fiction mood.
Yeah, Quentin Tarantino, all his stuff is just very literary. The way it is. I will say this about Mr. Right. What I really liked about it is the way that those two they collaborate. Is that even the right word?
Well,
they have
a good chemistry.
That chemistry is what I look for in a lady. You know what I mean? Like, you want to have that flow with your significant other, whoever it may be. So I use that pretty regularly. You base that off of things. So, yeah. Well, that's kind of how that works.
Well, and we have joked numerous times that as a celebrity, we were doing a live version movie about Howard, that Sam Rockwell would play Howard.
I think that would be a good choice. I will take it. I'm honored. Sam, if you want to play me in a movie, that'd be great.
I feel like he's got the awareness. He knows who he is, what he's doing. I feel like he's kind of up to something at all times in every movie.
Yep, and that's me to a T. definitely up to something.
There you go. There's number 5 on my list, Mr. Right.
Yeah. I in no particular order. I didn't know we were top 5 in this. I think I'll do this alphabetically. That's the best way to do it. So I'll start off with probably the greatest movie of all time. There's no doubt about it. It's Animal House. It's number 1 greatest movie. It's got everything you could possibly imagine. That's awesome. It's got great music. Speaking of killer soundtracks, Jesus Christ, so good.
Oh yeah.
You know, all the movies from that era, all the music from that era was just so funny. It's got slapstick with the horse. You know, that's hilarious. So goddamn funny. I'm laughing just thinking about that fucking horse. You know, it's
holy shit.
Yeah.
There were blanks in that gun. Holy shit.
You know, and he did such, and I've said this on the show, like, my favorite Marx brother is Harpo.
Yeah.
You know, because he says hardly anything at all, and that's what Belushi did. He did his best Harpo impersonation. Those guys that can say everything without saying nothing is just so funny to me.
Well, and you got to throw Bruce McGill into that.
Yep.
As D-Day, because the two of them together were constantly up to stuff. You know, just all of that. I actually just had to pull up the cast because, you know, you got a ton of guys that, you know, this was their movie that started everything. You know, Tim Matheson alone.
Yep. Yeah, he was actually in the second Dirty Harry movie, and that's how he kind of started going about his life. He was one of the he was that bad cop that shot the whole limo. That was pretty good, too.
Yep, I know numerous shows and stuff that I've watched that he showed up in, and it's just like, oh yeah, hey, there he is again. You know, and then the same thing with Peter Rickert.
Yeah, he's in a lot of...
He is everywhere. I mean, the most notable one that I always remember him showing up in was The Mask.
Yep, I was just going to say, The Mask.
You know, I mean...
and he was serious.
Yeah.
It was a serious role.
You know, so I mean, just all of that, it's a good one.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I saw that movie.
I was in 8th grade.
And I was just like... you know, and if you can believe this... I was probably about the same age.
Yep.
My mom bought me that movie.
Oh hell yeah!
You know, just like, here, you gotta, this is your sense of humor. You're gonna love it. This was right about the time I saw John Belushi doing his Saturday Night Live stuff. You know, and it was just, she's like, here you go. You'll love this movie. It's great. She's not wrong.
It was good.
All right, so. Continuing down that trend, my next one on my list, right, is Uncle Buck.
Okay.
You know, John Candy is that estranged uncle that knows nothing about his family, that's kind of a little bit of a loser, you know, but he's got the style, man. I laugh hysterically because every time I think of his car, I think of our buddy Steve.
Oh, boy.
Steve in high school drove a 1989 Chevy Caprice. So just this big old boat of a car.
Right.
And his dad had a bunch of the boat cars, too. But they had the steering knob to help you turn.
Oh, right. They put those on the tractors.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, to make it easier so you could turn and everything.
Absolutely, yep.
And I think of it every time, you know. Just, you know, all that. I got that movie from our buddy Morgan as a birthday present. And anytime it pops up all the time in regular conversation, you say something and be like, you know, I've been known to skin a gnat with it. Do you know what a hatchet is? It's an axe? Well, yeah, kinda. It's like a smaller version. I got it in the car. You want to see it? You know, walks over there. You go, here it is. You want to see it? No? Maybe some other time then. You know, so just that, and you know, oh, what's his name? Bug? What's his last name? Spray? No. Wait, Bug? Gnat? Is there some sort of resemblance there? Oh, I think there is. You know, just every aspect. I love a lot of John Candy's movies.
Yeah.
But Uncle Buck is hands down. I can start it at any point. You know, if it comes on TV and it's halfway through, guess what? My day is over. I'm watching it now.
Yep.
You know, it's just
Yeah.
That's one of them.
I gotta remember that one. I gotta write that down because I gotta watch that one again. I was a kid last time I saw that.
Oh man, just time for a golf lesson. All of it. Just every part of it. The giant pancakes.
Yep.
And you got Macaulay Culkin that shows up in there, and opening scene with it. He asks him, just do you have a wife? No. Do you have a job? No. Do you have a girlfriend? Yes. Do you have any kids? No. That's complicated. What's that? That's a bigger question. And then I ask him, what's your record for most consecutive questions asked? And he goes, 35.
35.
It's just like, oh man. It was actually, when you look at it, a ridiculously good dynamic.
Yeah.
Of John Candy and Macaulay Culkin as a kid.
Yeah, those were the 90s in a nutshell. Or whatever. But second one for me, alphabetical order, of course, Blazing Saddles. That's the movie we were talking about earlier. Watching it upstairs in the living room, and sure enough, Max and I, it's almost insane, word for word, and we know that movie. I downloaded a whole bunch of GIFs. I was sitting in my room just downloading GIFs, and I'm just ready for to pop up in any Facebook feed. Ready for.
I did appreciate the other day when you had the one that, baby, you're so talented.
Yeah, I did that in a couple of different comments.
It
was just pretty good.
It was great. I even enjoyed the bad guy, Hedley Lamar.
Yeah, right.
And that whole aspect of she threatened to sue them.
Yep.
And so he had to constantly... Mel Brooks just tossed that in there as part of it.
When you're worried about it, it's in 1884, you can be able to sue her. Or 1874, whatever it was. But, yeah, just... Second, probably only in Animal House. One of the funniest movies ever.
Mm-hmm. Work.
Yeah. Hello, boys. Did you have a good night's rest? I missed you. And see, we could do that. That could be a whole show. We could just do a replay of Blazing Saddles. That might be fun. See if we can rope some other people into that.
Yeah,
that'd be good.
Right? Look at that. Steady as a rock. I shoot with this hand.
Probably not great over the radio, but And there's also probably a couple of words we probably wouldn't be able to say, but it'd be funny. So yeah, that's and we've talked so much about this show and on this show about Blazing Saddles that we're just beating a dead horse at this point. Yes, no.
And you know how to beat a dead horse.
That's right.
We beat it till there's nothing left.
That's right.
And then you beat the spot till everybody is like, "Are you guys done yet?"
That's right.
Well, we were done, but since you brought it back up, we're gonna start over.
That's how we do it over here.
So, speaking of Mel Brooks, I got my own Mel Brooks movie. As much as I love Blazing Saddles,
right?
My first introduction to Mel Brooks was Spaceballs.
Yeah,
and that one, hands down, I personally loved Rick Moranis.
Yep.
As Lord Helmet.
Oh
Just every aspect of his character. I think of one of my favorite scenes, where they grab the video of what's this? This is the future, We can do this. Well, but the movie hasn't done. That's what's great about it. We're so good at this that it's already done now. It's on VHS before it's finished. So they start fast forwarding. So, well, when is this? Now. Well, when will that be then?
Yep.
Soon.
Yeah, it was pretty good. They did a couple of those.
Where it's just everything about it, and the other one where, I said, fire across their nose, not up it. Who is that? He's an asshole, sir.
That was a good one.
That I know. What's his name? Major Asshole. Who put him in charge? I did, sir. He's my cousin.
How many assholes we got on this shit?
Yo. Great. I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
That was a good one. And, oh, God, there were a lot of good ones in that one, too.
You know, I mean, even some of the other ones.
We've gone plaid. That was a good one. That's the one I'm thinking of. True story. I was cruising down Highway 50, get passed by a Corvette, all dressed in plaid. It's a plaid Corvette. I swear to God. Sure enough, what does it say on the license plate? GONPLAD. And I go, I can't even fucking believe it. And I couldn't even get a picture of it.
Yeah.
You know, gone.
Because he's gone plaid.
Fucking awesome. That was great.
I still think some of the best ones in there is when you get, when you got Mel Brooks in there with Rick Moranis.
Yep.
You know, and you even listened to him talk a little bit about it, and it was just, he loved working with Rick Moranis.
Yeah, and Gene Wilder.
He said, you know, that he had so much fun doing that stuff, especially, you know, like the one scene where they capture the princess and they're going to put her old nose back, unless he gives the combination, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I heard she gives gray helmet.
And tells that to Mel Brooks, who's the president, and he goes, wow, that's the same number on my luggage code. That's just, like, that whole thing, like, what? You know, flips up his helmet. What? That's what an idiot would put on his luggage code.
Wow, I had the same thing on my luggage.
And it's just like, and that moment, they break the fourth wall. Rick Moranis looks right at you, just like, oh shit. You know, love it. I love that movie.
Yeah,
it's a fantastic movie.
That was good. No, that when you say that, that's going to put me out of order a little bit. This is a movie that hardly anybody's ever seen. You know, the only two people in the world that I know that have seen it are you and me. Well, and other people, but you know, they're not important enough to be mentioned on this show. But silent movie. What's funny about silent movie? They play the movie like I like my music with no words. There were no words in the whole movie except one, and that's when the mime says no. He says no in French, that's funny. A mime speaks. That's hilarious.
Right in the movie that has no talking.
You know, and the whole plot is they're gonna bring back silent movies, and they're gonna get all these celebrities in the silent movies. So you get Paul Newman, you know, who was famous at the time, and you had Burt Reynolds, who's really goddamn funny, believe it or not, you know, and everything he does. And then, God, what was her name? The ugly lady. She's in Arrested Development. Why can't I think of her name now? Liza Minnelli.
Yes.
Yeah, and they got that when she was, you know, not crazy looking.
the ugly lady.
Yeah, right.
I don't know why I couldn't figure that out.
Yeah. So, yeah, Lucille, too. You're welcome.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a funny movie because you can see them, you can read their lips, and then, you know, they go through a whole charade and they have one word. It says, ouch, or I'll do it, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But it's so funny, you know, but it's one of those movies, like, you like to, like, diddle on your phone while you're watching movies in the movie theater. First of all, fuck you.
Right?
Second of all, you're not going to like this because you have to read, you have to go through the whole charade. It's funny, man. It's a funny movie.
Oh, it's great.
And it actually gets me every time because, like, the first, like, 5 minutes or so of the movie, it's got no sound either. And it's like, is my TV broken? What are we doing? And then it goes on, and then you're like, oh, okay.
Well, and that was the whole point. That's why he did it that way. He intended to freak you, the person watching the movie, out. Like, is something wrong? Like, yeah. What's going? Oh, okay.
I can't even imagine what it was like in theaters.
Well, I heard stories about it when I was doing research in high school that people would turn the sound up thinking that it was just too quiet. So when it finally started with sound, it scared the living shit out of you.
God, that's so funny.
You know, and it's like, and that's the beauty of what Mel Brooks did with everything, you know?
Satire in its finest form.
You know, all of it, even some of the lesser-known movies. You know, the 12 Chairs, To Be or Not to Be. High Anxiety has that really good music number.
Yep.
You know, and it's just like, all of them. You know, that's why I have the collector's edition set of Mel Brooks movies.
That's good.
All right, we didn't even talk about Robin Hood Men in Tights with him.
Oh, that's, yeah.
You know, just all that stuff. You know, so my next one that comes into this, and this one might throw you off a little bit, it's Austin Powers.
Oh, yeah, baby.
You know, and it's particularly, I liked The Spy Who Shagged Me.
Yeah.
You know, because you had...
that was the first one?
That was the second one, I believe.
That one was with Heather Graham.
With Heather Graham.
Nice.
Our local girl doing her thing. You know, because you know that. I'm sure you know that. She's from Wisconsin.
Yeah, I vaguely knew that.
You know, but...
I'm not looking at her stats, I'll tell you that for free. But
I'm pretty sure you're looking at her stats.
Right.
Her plots. You watch it for the plots.
and the plots,
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right, everybody knows that.
Right.
But that was where he brought in Fat Bastard as well.
Oh, yeah.
Which
you're right.
was really cool for me because Mike Myers does not have different Scottish voices. So when he was younger, he did the Help I Married an Axe Murderer movie.
I remember that. I never saw it, but
and he played his own granddad in that. And he was singing Saturday Night in Fat Bastard voice.
Another Saturday.
S-A-T-U-R-D-A-Y. In his Fat Bastard accent. So when he became Fat Bastard in that movie, it was like, oh my god, here's Mike Myers. He's having too much fun. You know, so you had that. You know, it continued the saga. I wish he would still do them. You know,
he's done.
I understand why he stopped doing them. You know, but
now
it's
they're
just
done because the Vern Troyer died.
right.
Yep.
You know, and that I get. They were really good friends.
Yep.
After doing the two movies together, and
yeah,
it's just, you know, it's once again, it's a satirical movie, but it stands on its own, and as characters go, you know, a spy movie, it's like the Get Smart series.
Yeah,
you know, it's
Mel Brooks.
It's that same aspect of it. Here is a guy, Mike Myers, who is great at creating characters. You know, I mean, you got Wayne Campbell.
Excellent.
You know, for all of his stuff. But, you know, I feel like Austin Powers... Wayne Campbell was a good character.
Yep.
But you knew it was Mike Myers. You looked at him, you saw him, it was Mike Myers. Austin Powers is his own character. He's his own man.
Oh, behave.
And every aspect of that. I mean, like, when you think about it, if you remember when the first one came out, that's all everybody talked about. That was it. It was over. You know, and I feel like the only reason that the Mel Brooks movies weren't as popular is because they were old.
Yep, right.
You know, Mike Myers was just doing satire in our generation for all the kids to see.
Yes,
when
absolutely.
Mel Brooks was doing it before. You know, same thing. You know, and there's a couple guys in here. You know, movies that I'd love to bring up. You know, Leslie Nielsen alone.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, he did a lot of good
don't
stuff.
pick any specific movie. You know, but all those and those once again, those are movies I got to be in the mood for to be prepared for Leslie Nielsen to do his thing.
Yep.
But it was across the board. I mean, you'd even get references from other movies he did.
Yeah.
You know, you saw those even in Family Guy.
Yeah.
They did that one episode where he showed up, and it was actually him that came in. I just want you to know we're all counting on you.
That was a Star Wars one.
And it's just
Yes.
like, oh, man. That was great.
Yeah.
Just to have it pop up, you know, like,
Yeah.
wow.
He was good.
But yeah, so that one, hands down, I walk up and I remember specifically anytime they'd be on TV. You know, and even the terrible versions as we were talking about on TBS, where they would remove half the movie.
Yep, exactly.
I'd still watch.
Uh-huh.
I'd still watch Austin Powers every time.
100%.
Every time it'd come on, and I'd just sit there and be like, commercial would come on, I'd get up and go grab something, and I'd sit back down. You're watching that again? Yep.
You bet. So, I picked a really serious movie for my next all-time favorite movie, The Blues Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Very my more serious movie, I should say. Yep, The Blues Brothers, another movie that's got it all, the singing, the acting, the dancing, all of it. Just another Saturday Night Live thing, you know, and one of the greatest movies of all time.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I actually had it on my list till I saw you write it down, and I'm like, all right, we can't both have this if we're talking points.
We could have. That probably would have saved a lot of time, but yeah.
I feel like our movies aren't terribly far off.
I don't think so either.
Go for it, but yeah, that's another movie, and like I said, I gotta attribute that to Morgan as well.
Yep.
You know, if you remember the one night we were watching it, it came on, and he was talking in another room, and he goes, "Oh, the Blues Brothers! I love when they're about to do this," and it's like. He heard the music and knew exactly where the movie was.
Yeah, isn't that amazing how everybody can do that with their own favorite movies?
Mm-hmm.
Blazing Saddles, you know, like I said, word for word. Blues Brothers, it's pretty close to right there, too. Animal House, Uncle Buck, we can all do those.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you a good story. You know, I was a big band geek when I was in grade school. Not so much high school, but grade school. And he says, okay, you know, the school year is starting to wind down. Let's pick a movie, you know, that's music related, and we can kind of watch and go over it. And of course, what do I say? The Blues Brothers. Let's go. And he's like, we can't watch the Blues Brothers. They got the penguin beating people, and you know they swear and they do all that stuff. Okay, how about The Commitments? No, no, we can't watch that either. No, but no. No, so yeah, all of my ideas throughout the course of
well, if I'm not mistaken, it was rated R, right?
Oh yeah, they swore pretty often in that movie too. Yeah,
bam, bam.
I think they dropped the F-bomb when they were getting beat up by the penguin. Oh, you fucking penguin, or whatever it was.
I'm just laughing hysterically thinking about the scene because I'm just seeing him tumble down the stairs, stuck in the desk.
Yeah.
You know, which apparently wasn't planned. Apparently, he actually got stuck in the desk and couldn't get out. So they were thrilled when he fell down the stairs, and it broke.
Oh, and how many cop cars they wrecked? You know, that was classic.
Well, and
a Guinness World Record of wrecked cars.
And they did that scene where they jumped off the bridge. That was Milwaukee.
Yep.
That was that Milwaukee interchange over there. You know,
so and you can even see too. Oh, I know where that's at.
Yeah, you see the buildings in the background. You're like,
so cool. Yeah. What else was I going to say about that particular movie? I don't remember. Probably wasn't that important anyway.
Well, I enjoy it because it was a resurgence of the blues genre.
Yeah.
You know, I like blues music, so I mean, you had a lot of people. You had John Lee Hooker was there.
John Lee was there.
Ray Charles showed up.
James Brown was big in the second one as well.
Yep.
Which we won't talk about that one.
Aretha Franklin did her thing with Matt Guitar Murphy.
Yeah, and what a lot of people don't know is all the guys in the Blues Brother band were like big deal musicians. You know, Steve Cropper and Duck Dunn were part of. We can never remember the name of the band. Booker T. Mm-hmm. You know, part of his band. They were a big deal. There's a lot of people that really hold Steve Cropper and Duck Dunn in very high regard.
Well, and what's his name? He went and did the talk show. The keyboard player.
Alan Rubin? Oh, Schaefer.
Yeah.
But he wasn't in the movie.
Right, but he was part of he built that band.
Yes.
He was part of building that band.
Absolutely.
You know, and it was just that.
Because it was based off of Saturday Night Live. And he said, listen, you're good at this. You know, okay. Right. That's how they both got, you know, into it. It's almost very Keith Richards, Mick Jagger, like, the way they kind of got together.
And the big thing about it, you know, like, that's the whole thing. They became, you know, it was a individual love of blues music by both Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi.
Yes, yep.
That, we want to do this character, is about this, and then I believe they even used them as the music group.
Yep.
For a couple times on Saturday Night Live, just like, you guys want to do it? Okay. You know, which is kind of a cool thing to have. You know, to not, not, you know, bring in somebody else. I mean, I don't watch the show anymore. You know, we tried that one time it popped up.
Oh, that's right.
And we were very quickly like, no.
Yeah, because it's quarantine version, and that's boring.
All right, so you ready for it, Howard?
Okay, last movie.
My favorite movie of all time. Absolute favorite. I talk about it all the time. You know it. It's Mouse Hunt.
Oh, yeah. Mouse Hunt.
Mouse Hunt with Nathan Lane. I love every movie Nathan Lane has done. I think the guy is hilarious. He's got an iconic voice.
Yeah.
You know him from The Lion King.
No doubt.
You know, when he does his stuff, he gets rolling. You know, when they redid The Producers for the musical version of it, which is another Mel Brooks favorite of mine.
It was fantastic, the musical version.
He filled in, you know, as Max Bialystock.
And not only that, but he did it live on Broadway, too.
He did.
Which is pretty
He did. It was
cool.
actually really cool. Yesterday I was driving to work, and I was flipping through the channels on the radio.
Yep.
And I have the musical channel saved. I don't like a lot of musicals, but every now and then I'll catch a song. And they had him singing the song, the Betrayal song, which is basically the whole recap of the whole movie. All in like 3 minutes.
It was, yeah.
And I sat in the parking lot to finish the song because it was Nathan Lane doing it.
Yeah.
So I love that. If you've never seen Mouse Hunt, it is a movie about two brothers whose dad dies. He leaves them this rundown property in this rundown string factory. And they lose everything. End up having to move into this rundown house they have and find out that it's a missing LaRue, which is just this super architectural find of everything.
Yep.
And they're going to renovate it and sell it for millions.
Millions.
Well, there's this mouse that lives in this house, and it's his house. So get the fuck out of my house. So there's tons of stuff that goes wrong for them, you know. The floor explodes, they shoot holes into it. They have a cat that's this vicious cat. Christopher Walken comes in and does a phenomenal job of being a exterminator.
Hi!
You know, doing his whole thing, and it's like, if ever there was a role for Christopher Walken, I feel like Caesar, the pest control guy, was Christopher Walken just being himself. Honestly.
There you go. Yeah, it's hard to beat that.
You know, so just not it's like a variation on like the Money Pit.
Right.
You know, but at every point it's like, oh man, now it's gonna go wrong. Now it's gonna go wrong. And it's got that kind of Tom and Jerry feel.
Yeah.
You know, the old school comedy, their sight gags, and your two main characters are fighting their antagonist is a mouse. Mm-hmm. You know, and it's like it's a mouse. How can you guys not get this mouse? Well, and that's the fun of the movie. That's why I love the movie, hands down. Favorite movie. I have days where like I'll take it out and I will throw it into the PlayStation or the Xbox.
There you go.
And it sits there for a couple months, and then I'll come home, turn it on, and be like, oh yeah, and I'll watch it again, and then I'll watch it a third time, and then I'll watch it again. You know, it was just one of those things. I just watched it a couple of weeks ago with Morgan again. You know, it was just like,
oh yeah, I remember that.
It was just like, oh hey, speaking of Mouse Hunt, here it is. Let's watch it.
Yeah.
You know,
is that Morgan's favorite too?
I don't think it's his favorite. I feel like he's more of a Godzilla guy.
Yeah, that does sound like Morgan.
I feel like one of the Godzillas definitely probably outranks, but you got the Blues Brothers in there. He's a big John Candy fan too, you know, so that's it. Number one.
So that leaves me with my last one. I don't know if it's my number one, but man, it's such a feel-good movie. You know, it just gives you that warm, fuzzy feeling inside no matter what, with the way it all works out. And it's just so funny. You know, he was such a natural talent. It's Tommy Boy. You know, with Chris Farley. And Max, I'll tell you, this is absolutely true. And I hope she's listening. I've broken up with girls because they said, yeah, I really didn't like that movie very much. Yep.
What?
It was over. That, there was no repairing it. If you don't like that movie, or it's a feel-good movie, and everybody's really happy, yeah, people die, but, everything works out, and it's just a feel-good movie, and it's funny.
The rolling down the hill part alone.
Yeah.
Just that. That was that movie, right? Or was that Black Sheep that I'm
might
thinking
have
of?
been Black Sheep.
But
rolling down the hill.
That might have been Black. Those movies blend together.
Yeah, because it was the same two guys, and just you can interchange.
They were pretty close together, and not to get too off topic, but Black Sheep,
right?
Tim Matheson.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
that's actually what I was gonna say. Yeah, no, Tommy Boy was the one where he tied the road flares to his chest and said, "Excuse me, do you have a minute?" The whole movie is just Chris Farley. How do you hate Chris Farley? It's just a big old teddy bear. And Brian Dennehy, who just died, was the dad, and he died in that movie. Yep. And that was sad. And he's just a big old lovable oaf. And even at the low point where his girlfriend messes everything up, he's like, he's not angry or anything. He's just, I guess, sad.
Yeah.
He's just such a natural talent.
Well, and you're forgetting the fun parts of, you got Rob Lowe.
Yep. Who
was just in a streak of playing lovable bad guys. You didn't hate him, but you knew he was kind of slimy.
Yeah.
You're just, and everybody's like, I remember a couple of relatives are like, but look at him. Oh, he's an asshole.
He was an asshole. I did not like Rob Lowe in that movie.
But it's just, it was really entertaining, especially because he was the bad guy in Wayne's World too.
Oh yeah, he was.
So it's just like he was just doing that, and
that's right.
And in Austin Powers, he was number 2.
Oh, that's right.
When they went back in time,
yeah.
See, Rob Lowe, great bad guy.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And now he's just like he's weird. He's he was in that Parks and Recreation show.
Didn't watch it.
It was weird. It was weird to see Rob Lowe like. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Strange. But yeah,
I was actually talking with somebody the other day about that. About Tommy Boy. Who's I talking to that about?
I don't know. I wasn't there.
I was talking about the guarantee.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy how well that works into all of your situations? International sports management, when I was working there, that brief amount of time I was working there, it's amazing how well it all fit together. You're selling widgets and you're crashing cars on people's desks. It's amazing how it all pulled itself together. It was so cool, and how business works. Everything that I know about business, I learned from Tommy Boy.
Yeah, I feel like it was Damon. It was probably Damon I was talking to where I told him that he needs to start saying that, well, if you want a guarantee, I can take a shit in the box and mark guaranteed.
That's funny. I used that line the other day. I could stick my head up a bull's ass to get a good look at a T-bone steak, but wouldn't you rather just take the butcher's word for it?
Yep. there were some good ones.
Everything. Just every business transaction you do.
The car, when he's got the car on the desk, and here you are here with the other guys.
Oh my God. Just a natural
that was
guy.
That was the coat.
Fat guy in a little coat.
That was the first time we got to see. Apparently he did that all the time.
Yeah.
Apparently anytime David Spade felt bad, Chris Farley would put his coat on. Apparently very often he ended up ripping it.
Yep. Fat guy in a little coat. Yeah. That's my number 1 movie. Hey, if you don't like that movie, we can't be friends. Just is what it is.
Good movie. It's a great movie. All right, Howard, so it is that time for me at least.
Honorable mentions for me. I wrote a couple of them down. Caddyshack.
Yeah.
Dirty Harry. And the A-Team, the movie. That was Another awesome movie. Apparently it's sexist, but I don't subscribe to that theory. That's just me. So there's that.
I mean, it was back in the day.
No, that was like a 2000s movie.
No, I'm saying I know, but I'm saying the TV show maybe, but I don't see it. Did you ever get an explanation on why it was sexist?
No, because the girl was a badass in the movie.
Yeah,
but you know
that was Jessica Biel, right?
Yeah.
So
I don't talk to that girl anymore either. So there's kind of a common theme to my life. So there's that.
If you don't like the 10 movies you watch, fuck off.
Pretty much. Yep. Pretty much.
Is that in your Tinder profile?
It should be. I should update that.
Have you seen Tommy Boy? It's great.
It is great. Don't judge me.
Am I looking like I'm sitting here judging you?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows?
All right, Howard. We got to talk about this beer, and then I'm almost out.
Okay.
I've been drinking. I know you've been talking, but I've been drinking.
I'll sum it up for you. I actually looked it up because I've been talking. Doppel. Technically, it's a Doppelbock.
Okay.
That's the German word for double. That's a Doppelbock. So that's what it is. It's not crazy. I've just never had a Doppelbock. So,
right. Same.
That's what it is. And honestly, I'd rate this. If you haven't been paying attention to us, we both made an Untapped. Max is a lot less strict than I am. Mine average about 2.94. And I'm going to put this a little bit lower than that. I'm going to say it's a 2.75. It's pretty good. I wonder how it would be cold, but it is good. It is a beer I would drink again.
Yeah, my app's not working. I like beer.
Yes.
So that's a big problem. If there's anything that I don't like in it, like the one we had last week. I didn't think I was going to like the beer. I almost knew I wasn't. I tried it anyways. I would have drank it had Katie not been here.
Yeah. Yep.
This one is definitely something I would try. If we're sitting in a bar, and there's a lot of bars that we've sat in where, like Bobby Rockets.
Bobby Rockets.
Where they were getting ready to close down. Hey, finish this off.
Oh, yes.
What is that? Well, we'll drink that. What is that? Drink that. And they're like, well, we have Miller Lite for $1.
No.
I'm not drinking a Miller Lite for $1. What's that one? We'll have that one.
Yep.
And we cleared out that whole cooler for them, and they're like, wow, guys, thanks.
Yeah, that was pretty classic.
It's just like, hey, there's what it is. But I'd put it 3.75.
Wow. Holy shit. That's an amazing beer, then.
I really like it.
Yeah.
I would, if it was sitting there, I would drink it.
If it was sitting there, I would drink it.
I'm definitely liking it.
2.75 for me.
Well, yeah, but you're hard to judge of character because that beer doesn't like your movies.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So on that note, everybody, my beer is pretty much empty. It's mostly spit in the bottom here.
And I believe this is the longest, officially the longest episode that we had. So that's kind of exciting.
Right. So
there we go.
On that note, everybody, we thank you for dealing with us for all this time and listening. We appreciate you. If you got any movies you'd like to tell us about, let us know. We'd love to tell you why we don't like your selections.
That's right.
So on that note, I am still Max.
And I am Howard.
Cheers.
Cheers.